Today's video is going to be a little bit more sensitive. I will be speaking about my daughter's diagnosis, and it has not been easy on us. It has not been easy on me, at least personally. I would just like to say that I'm not asking for pity. I don't want comments saying, "I'm so sorry to hear that," or "Oh my god, I am so sorry," or even, "Oh my god, she's going to suffer for the rest of her life," because we don't know that. No one knows that. I will delete comments, especially unnecessary rude comments. I am here to share our journey and spread awareness. Okay, I'm gonna try not to cry through this whole video, but it is a very sensitive subject to me, at least, and I want to share it with everyone just because I've been open about my pregnancy. I want other people to also be educated and know at least her case. But like I said, I'm not asking for any pity. I'm not asking for you to feel bad for me or for my baby. I don't need that. Like, I don't. That is not. She's still a healthy baby. She's still gonna be thriving. She's gonna live her life to the fullest. So I don't need to hear anyone feeling sorry for her or for me. Like, that is not why I'm sharing this situation. If you happen to be new here and you stumbled upon my video, feel free to subscribe and follow us along. It's for sure going to be a journey. It's going to be I don't even know. Actually, I don't know what to expect, but I am planning to taking you guys along. I would just like to say that I am not sharing this for publicity or for views or for anything, but it's also something for me to look back at and later on be like, "Oh wow, like, look at you, you were so scared, and look at how far she's become, or look at how much she has accomplished." Like, you know, I'm doing this mostly for myself. If you guys would love to follow along, please go ahead and subscribe. But I would like to introduce myself if you are new here. My name is Anna. I am 25 years old. I am currently pregnant. I am 24 weeks pregnant with a baby girl. And I have been asking my close friends and family for prayers and just looking for that support from other families as well to keep me at peace. Also, I am a little bit like sick or congested. I'm if you can tell, you can tell, but like, you know. So this might be a lengthy video. If you don't care, you don't have to watch. I'm just here, like I said. Hopefully it can help another family, and also it can help other people get educated on this. At my 20-week appointment. So at 20 weeks they do an ultrasound for your baby. It's an anatomy scan, I believe that's what it's called, where they just check everything. It's like an hour-long ultrasound, and they make sure that the baby's growing fine. I ended up going to my 20-week ultrasound, which is a month ago from today. And it's strange how you as a mother can tell when things are not right, I guess. While I was getting my ultrasound done, I asked the ultrasound technician just a random question. I don't know why it was heavily on my mind, but I asked, when a baby is paralyzed, can you tell in the womb, and is it something that is like noticeable in ultrasounds? And she didn't really give me an answer. She pretty much, well, she kind of just said that it all depends on the case, and like, it all depended. And we just left it off as that. That could happen, right? And during the ultrasound, the baby girl was moving like crazy. She was kicking, she was pushing, she was punching, she was doing everything, flipping and everything. So I was like, all right, like it was just a simple question that I asked, and now I'm just like, why and what made me ask that? The ultrasound technician was looking especially at her spine, and I could tell that she kept going, because they have the screen on for you, right, to see as well. So I could tell that she kept going back on her spine, and her reason was that, oh, it's because she keeps moving so much, and like I'm trying to get good pictures to show the doctor. So I didn't really put much thought into it. The ultrasound ended, and I was just there waiting for my doctor. And I remember specifically, I texted Beto, obviously with COVID, your partner is not allowed to go. Go figure, clubs are open now, like whatever, that's a whole other subject. But I texted him, and I'm like, oh my god, the doctor is taking a while, like I hope everything turned out okay. And he was like, oh, she's fine, like yo, we'll be fine, you know, like it's okay, you're just overthinking it. I was like, yeah, you're right. But I also said, I was like, it's kind of weird because they spend a lot of time looking at her spine, so I hope it's nothing bad. I texted him that, and really like 2 to 5 minutes later, my doctor came in. I'm already seeing a high-risk doctor, so this is where I was. It was not my original OB. It's the same doctor that did my cerclage on me. If you guys have not watched those videos, they're all on my YouTube. But he came back in, and he sat down, and he looked at me, and he proceeded to say, which I would like to confess that I did not hear him. Like I did not process anything right away. It's not that I was paying attention, but I couldn't even like hear him. There is a language barrier where I don't understand him clearly a lot of the time. So he proceeded to say that they found something on her spine, that she had this condition, and there was 2 options. Well, 3. There was 3 options now. So I was just like, oh, okay. I'm like, what are the options? He pretty much told me that one of my options was termination, which honestly left me in complete shock. After that, I did not hear a word he even said. I am 20 weeks, and I would never... Okay, sorry. Oh, I was 20 weeks at the time where they brought up that one of the options was termination. At 20 weeks, I would not consider even going about termination. If you guys know, Romeo. Okay, I better. If you guys know, Romeo, my firstborn, was born at 26 weeks. So I could only imagine the size difference. I don't know. I was like, no, like, I don't know what the hell you're even talking about, but no, like, I'm not gonna terminate my baby right now. Like, are you insane? What the hell? That was going through my head. Like, literally in my mind, I went into shock, and I was like, did he really just ask me that? Like, and mind you, he did not say it in a rude way. It's part of protocol. Like, they're supposed to ask you that if that is one of your options. So he pretty much proceeded to say that what is going on with my baby's spine, she might have difficulties going to the bathroom, and she might need to be cathetered. I can never say that word. She might need pretty much assistance going to the bathroom, and there's times where it affects mobility, but like, I didn't even question it, because just the fact that they brought up termination at 20 weeks kind of threw me off so much. So he said that I would be getting a call from a hospital in Chicago, which is Lurie's hospital, and they were going to set up an appointment with them, and they were going to follow up with her case. So we left it at that, and I ended up leaving in complete shock. I was mostly shocked about him mentioning termination. I didn't really fully understand her case yet. I'm sorry. Also, one of the other options that they do is they do fetal surgery, where I go under surgery and they do surgery on my baby. That was pretty much what I left knowing. I got to the car and I started crying again. A lot. I called Beto again and I was bawling my eyes out. And then I got a call, and it was from my doctor, where I had just left. I was still in the parking lot. So he just pretty much mentioned that he ended up sending the pictures to the specialist at Lurie's, and they believe that I won't be a candidate for fetal surgery because my baby's brain looks healthy. It's growing perfect, and these are really good signs. So I'm like, okay. I was like, well, thank you for letting me know. Like, it calms me down a little bit more. So I proceeded to ask him, what was the term, or what was this diagnosis even called? So the doctor told me that our baby has Spina Bifida, and if you're like me, you don't know what that even is. Like, I didn't know what it was. We ended up hanging up, and I was just like, okay, thank you. But yeah, I was in the car literally for like 30 minutes crying, and then I started looking up what Spina Bifida is, and honestly, Google does not help. It does not make it any better, and instead, honestly, I feel like I ended up going into a full panic mode after just Googling everything. If you Google what Spina Bifida is, I mean, it gives you the wholesome idea, but it doesn't really reassure you of anything as well. So, from my understanding, from what I've learned, from what they've told me, from the specialists and everyone that I've talked to, Spina Bifida is where your baby's spine doesn't end up fully developing. And that is what my baby has. She has an opening in her spine where it didn't fully close. So yes, what my baby has is that her spine didn't fully develop. So her spine didn't fully develop, and it has an opening, and your spine does a lot of things. Like, it's not something that you think of, but you can imagine how I felt. Just, I mean, you can see how I feel, because as a mother, you just want your kids to be alright. We're done crying. But yes, as a mother, you want your kids to be healthy, and you just want to see your kids grow, and there's nothing that I can do to fix her. And no, I am not going to terminate her just because of this. Spina Bifida is considered a disability, and it affects every kid differently. I ended up, thankfully, finding a Facebook group that has been helping me so much. Like, you guys have no idea. I felt like I couldn't I didn't have anyone to talk about it with. Like I said, I found a Facebook group of parents with babies with spina bifida, and honestly, if it was not for that group, I would probably be losing my mind right now. I personally don't know anyone with spina bifida. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know about it. I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk about. No one understood me. No one knew what I was feeling. And I'm not gonna lie, that first week I took it pretty hard, and I would cry every single night because you just feel helpless, you know. God, I'm such a crybaby. I'm sorry. Like, this is the same reason why I wasn't sure if I was ready to record. But with spina bifida, like I said, it affects kids differently. I call this a snowflake condition because there is no two cases alike. Every baby is different. Why does it happen? They're not completely sure. There has not been enough resources or information to back up why babies are born with spina bifida, but it's usually 1 in 1,000 babies, which also blows my mind, because 1 in 1,000, and like, my baby has that. 1 in 1,000 babies. And I used to see it, so I was so mad and sad. Like, why was she the one out of 1,000 babies? I honestly believe that babies pick their parents. That is just my mindset. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but she picked me to be her mom for a reason. So I believe she picked me to be her mom for a reason. Am I scared? Yes. Am I ready? Yes. Like, it's something I wish I didn't have to go through, or she had to go through, but I know we'll be okay. I know anything thrown at us, we're ready to overcome. And I also know that my baby is more than just a disability, and there is so much more to her than just that. Oh, as sad as you guys see me and like down, I just know that my baby is more than this disability that she has. We ended up going to Larry's hospital earlier last month. Mind you, our appointment was at 6 in the morning, and we had appointments back to back up until 4 p.m. So it was a really long day. I pretty much went in there clueless. I did have a lot of questions. So I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit more about her case. Like I said, every baby's diagnosis is different. This is my baby's diagnosis, and this is what we know so far. When babies have spina bifida, their nerves are or can be pulled. There's 3 different types of spina bifida, and I'll post the pictures here. I'm not sure how to say it, but the one that my baby has, it's called Milo something. I'm sorry. They have such long terms that I can't say them. It's visible through an ultrasound, so that's how it was detected. And her heart is perfectly fine, thank God. One of the ultrasounds that they did was to see where her opening was. Depending on where the opening is, it has different complications. I'll post a little picture here that like helped me a lot understand. From that ultrasound, they were able to determine, not for sure, because like I said, she was moving like crazy and they could not get a good picture of her. They were able to determine that her opening, it starts at L3 down to L5. That's what I know from her case. Also, I was not able to qualify for fetal surgery simply because her sac is completely closed. And what does that mean? So yeah, so her sac is closed, which means there's not an opening in her spine, like a raw opening. This is one of the reasons why we were not able to qualify. But she will need surgery, and from my understanding, they might wait until she's a couple months older instead of doing it right after she's born. Unless, of course, they find some sort of opening that they were not able to detect on the ultrasound, then she will need surgery right away, pretty much right after she's born. So fingers crossed, and I'm still praying that is not the case, and hopefully we can wait it out until she's a little bit older. And by a little bit older, I mean a couple months older. I do have an ultrasound coming up, and I kid you not, I am nervous. I don't want to go. I don't want to hear anything else. Like, I just want to enjoy my pregnancy, you know? When spina bifida occurs, there's also a chance where the nerves get pulled down and it damages the brain. And they call this Chiari Malformation, where the nerves get pulled down and it kind of enlarges in the back of their brain, which causes fluid to go up there. And fluid in the brain is obviously not good. So that is one thing that they were checking for her brain development. This is also one of the other things they look for on ultrasound when a baby has spina bifida. Thank God that her brain has no damage. They don't believe to expect Chiari or hydrocephalus in her brain at all, simply because her sac is completely closed. Trust me, there are so many things that I learned within a week that I was just overwhelmed. It was too much. Like, it's too much just in general to even process the diagnosis. Based on baby girl's case, hers is one of the less severe. Will she need assistance walking later on? She might. She might not. I'm not underestimating her. I don't need anyone to underestimate her. But she has a lot of movement in her legs, in her knees, in her toes. She has full control of that, which is really, really, really good. And that's why every time I post a Snapchat of her kicking and moving, it makes my day 1,000 times better. Like, it's her telling me that she's good, like, she's fine, like, we're gonna be fine. Yeah, even if she needs help walking later on, she's gonna be fine. Like, they're my kids, come on. And I don't mean to brag, but my kids are freaking warriors. Like, I know they'll be fine. A whole little summary of her: she doesn't need a shunt, so she does not have Chiari, she does not have hydrocephalus. Her opening starts at L3, L5, and her sac is completely closed. She has full movement of her legs and her knees and her toes. And we do not qualify for fetal surgery, so they'll postpone it until after she's born, and possibly until a couple months later. That is her case. Can things change? Yes. Am I scared? Hell yes. But I have faith in God that she'll be fine. I will obviously keep updating you guys throughout my pregnancy. One thing I know is that she won't be coming home with me right away. And she will be in the NICU for a while, which is okay. She'll be in good hands. And you guys will get to see her grow with me. I'm not sure how long this video is, so I'm going to just stop here. If you guys have any questions, like I did, I'm willing to answer any questions. Just please be sensitive, because girl, I'm a mess. It's been, my whole pregnancy in general has been a whole roller coaster from the beginning. But I know God does not put you in a situation you can't handle. And she is a blessing regardless to me. I don't need anyone, like I said, to see her different. We'll be okay. That's my thing. We're gonna be fine. And yes, I'm tired of crying. I don't get anything of crying, but it still gets to me. I'm hormonal and pregnant. So I'm just gonna leave this video off here. If there's anything else, I'll keep updating. I'll let you guys know how my appointment went coming up. Thank you for watching this video through and watching me cry and bawl my eyes out and explaining this whole situation. This was not something that I could control. She was meant to be born like this. At 6 weeks, a baby's spine is already done developing. So she has had this little opening in her spine since 6 weeks. And we found out at 20 weeks. And I would have never, ever even thought she would have this. Because she's such an active baby. She moves so much. Like, I've been feeling her squirm and wiggle since 13 weeks, which is really early. I still thank God every day for sending me my little girl. I know I have a good support system with my parents and my family and my boyfriend, and I know the kids are going to love her regardless, and I love her so much already. So like I said, please don't feel sorry, don't apologize, don't do any of that, because it's not your fault, it's not my fault, it's not really anyone's fault. So I don't need to hear no apologies. But with that being said, we're gonna leave today's video off right here. If you would like to keep following our journey, make sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications. Also, you can also follow me on the rest of my social medias. Everything is under Ana X Ibarra. And if you could, please keep my little girl in your prayers and myself, so I can have peace of mind. I would really appreciate that a lot. If you don't, I'm not throwing religion at anyone or anything, so you don't have to. Just keep us in your thoughts. I would really appreciate that. God makes no mistakes, so I know she is perfect the way she comes. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.